you should know the coffee scene in Bolivia is quite good. So there you go. If you enjoy stray dogs running the neighborhoods, super fun opportunities to buy them food and feed them. Some of you on the trip know who I'm talking about.
Okay, don't judge me for eating llama.
Highly recommend the terrifying cable cars. You can do hard things.
I love llamas. I don't know why I did it. I was peer pressured into it by Jamie.
Here, Christian, you're in the shot.
Wow, that's one long clip.
One of the things that I have learned in my life is how God cares for his people through the body of Christ. And I think getting to see that play out in La Paz was really unique and special because both of the mothers of the children that I sponsor are single moms. And what they both had in common was that church sought them out. One of my moms, the church heard of her situation and sought her out to bring her son to the Compassion Center and to make sure that the kids and her were both fed and cared for.
So in the days leading up to the trip, at one level, I'm excited to go. I'm excited about our team that's going to go. And yet there's also this other part of me that as not only somebody going on the trip, but also one of the leaders of the church and one of the people who's been at least part of the team and putting this all together, honestly started having these moments of, man, this is really far away. And we're hearing about the high elevation and just wondering, gosh, like, I'm so glad we're partnered with the Compassion, but should we have chosen like a country that's like a little bit closer, a little easier to get to?
With the altitude, I was really nervous. Everybody said it's really, really high up country. And so I just pictured being on the edge of a cliff the whole time we were there.
There's not a lot of straightforward information about travel to Bolivia. So I was really nervous about that and the altitude sickness.
It actually went much better than I thought it was going to. The country is in the mountains and it's beautiful, but we were not in danger on the edge of a cliff at any moment. And getting used to the altitude was not that bad at all. And meeting our sponsor child was actually wonderful.
Within just a short time of arriving there, it was so clear that God had specifically picked not only our partnering together with Compassion, but specifically with this church and this place with these kids. And he made it just so abundantly evident that this was the particular group that we were to be working with. And so yes, it's far away and there's the elevation to consider, but it was such a joy to be there and so evident that the Lord had really, he had orchestrated this and he had knit this together, and he was the one that had brought the details of this particular location and our church to be partnered together.
It was amazing meeting Catalina and her family for the first time. It was great getting to know them and talking with them through the Compassion translators and just forming that bond. We heard so many stories of how the gospel was being shared and lived out in the community. It was encouraging that we as a church so far away are able to be a part of that.
They just love God so much that I think for me, seeing that was kind of renewed some faith in me to be like, wow, yeah, God is really good.
Going down there, I didn't have any expectations. You know, Jamie had reached out for me to go down and take photos. I didn't have a child that I had sponsored. What ended up happening was seeing the sponsored children with their sponsors really changed my heart. It was so genuine, and I left wanting to sponsor a child, which is not what I thought would happen going down there.
This trip did really leave a pretty big impact on me in terms of just realizing what the monthly support means for a family, for the community there. Just seeing that impact that it has, not just from a financial level, but the whole partnership, right? The letters, the interactions and stuff, that it's really building a relationship, really learning to love our neighbors, even though they are across the globe. But it was just really impactful to see what can be done through the partnerships.
I feel really blessed that I'm able to belong to a church community that made this trip possible, that I could actually go see the child that I sponsored. Yeah, it's super unique and incredible, and I just feel really blessed by it.
Before it was just like, okay, maybe this is one thing that we might discontinue, but after having been there and having interaction with the little girl that we sponsor and her family, it really feels that there is a connection there, and this is something that I don't think we would ever even consider letting go from here on out.
The need is real. It's a real thing. There are kids that are in need, and our efforts are going somewhere. And I just hope that whoever sees this is inspired, by our testimonies, because it's all true. And I just encourage everyone to go down and see it for themselves.
I want our church to hear how precious these people are, how kind and hospitable and wonderful they are, how their struggles are so not unlike our struggles and the things they worry about. While they are different, are also not. They want good for their children. They want to be provided for. I want our church to hear that we can make a difference, that by sponsoring a kid, that by writing letters, they can make a difference. My kid had every letter that I've ever written printed out in a binder, and he had pictures of my boys that he held up and showed me, was so excited to show me. And then if you're physically able to go on this trip, I could not recommend it more, couldn't encourage it more. It was one of the most incredible experiences of my life, and I can't wait to go back.
As a church this year, our threshold, we're seeking to move from consuming to cultivating. And I think just this involvement with compassion and trips down there and sponsoring of kids, I think it's just a very practical way that through the working of the Spirit, by God's grace, we can move from being consumers to actually cultivators, that we get to participate in the mission that God invites us into, that we get to cultivate relationships, we get to see people in a whole other part of the world flourish in ways they might not otherwise be able to if it wasn't for people making some sacrifices and saying no to the opportunities to just keep consuming and to actually live for something that's much more fulfilling, of being a cultivator and seeing the Lord build his kingdom.